For my teaching metaphor for my website, I go over two separate sets of doctrines, principles, and tools, one of which applies directly to what I will be teaching, and the other applies directly to teaching in general. Okay, so my first one is what a derivative is. Okay, the derivative of a function of a real variable measures the sensitivity to change of the function value with respect to a change in its argument. Period. That's what a derivative is. That truth won't ever change. And derivatives never, or doctrines never change. Okay, those are eternal truths. My principle for applying the derivative is how that derivative applies to my life. Okay, that's what a principle is, how the doctrine applies to my life. So I use derivatives when I calculate how fast I need to walk to get to school or work on time. I use derivatives to figure out how much faster I need to go to run to beat the girl ahead of me in a cross-country race. And it's the change of rate. So I need to change my speed to this much faster to be able to beat that girl ahead of me. So principles are how the doctrine applies to our own lives. And the tools I use to figure out what a derivative is are the derivative rules that we have. So the derivative of a constant is 0. The derivative of x is 1. We have these rules that help us apply the doctrine to our lives. My teaching doctrine is that true doctrine understood changes attitude and behaviors. That is from Todd B. Parker. This is a truth, and this isn't going to change. When somebody understands true doctrine, that will change their life. That will change their attitude and behaviors. So the principle is that I can apply this to my life by studying, by education, by attaining an education. So I can change my attitudes and behaviors by obtaining an education. That's how the principle applies to my life. The tools I can use to apply the doctrine to my life is the education, taking tutoring jobs that I get, doing well in my classes, studying, applying the stuff that I learned to my life. And through my education, I am understanding true doctrine, and therefore my attitude is changing. I'm learning new things. My perspective is changing, and I'm acting different. And so I wonder, how can I do this for my children or my students? Okay, how can I help my students change their attitudes and behavior? I need to teach them true doctrine, and that is how I can really change their lives.